All right, Subaru world. We have a 2015 Forester, Subaru Forester, and I'm going to show you guys how to replace a battery. Okay, it's pretty simple. Anybody can do this. Okay, tool tools I'm using today. I have a deep 10mm socket. It's a 3/8 size, and then I just have a 3/8 ratchet. Okay. First thing you're going to want to do is you can take off the holder. This basically locks the battery in place, keeping it nice and tight. I'm just loosening that up, and then as it gets looser, I tend to hold the pole so it doesn't spin on me. You'll understand once you're actually doing this. And then it's going to get to the point where it's loose enough where it comes out. See this little hook that connects down here, and you just hook it into place down there. It hooks in there and it doesn't go anywhere. Okay, and then push it down, comes out. I don't take them all the way off. You can leave them on there loose. This is a little placeholder right here to hold this wire, the negative wire strap in. You can also put a 10 on there, and it does actually spin. You can actually loosen that up. That will come right off the top of that. And you're going to want to hold this down while you're loosening this up. And it gets loose enough to the point where you can spin it with your fingers. And you're going to have to peek down in there. Pull the battery forward a little bit. It's got some room so you can see. And then you spin that out. So now that's completely loose. Okay. Then we're going to disconnect the negative. And you just need to loosen this to the point where you can slide it off. Okay. Now that's out of the way. You're going to move that out of the way. I like to just set it way over here. Get out of my way. This is the positive terminal. Just loosen it to the point where you can wiggle it off. That's all you need to do. I'm going to use both hands here, hold the battery, and then there's that. I'm going to go ahead and set this down to the side. This lifts right off. Set this down out of the way. Now there's a little cover that goes around the battery. You can either pick it up with the battery at the same time. I like to take it off so that way it doesn't makes the battery less slippery when you pick it up. And you lift this up and out of the way like so. So this is the battery tray. You'll notice that there's these, I don't really know what to call them, but they're basically pushed out from the bottom, from the top. And what these are, they're guides. There's two holes down here in the frame, and there's an arrow pointing towards the front of the car. You want this arrow to point in towards the front, and then when you put this tray back in, you want to slide it back into where it locks into the frame. So that way your battery won't slide around as much, because when you put the battery in there, it's basically will hold it in place and your battery won't slide around. All right, so that's been the proper spot. We got our new battery. I'm going to go ahead and set that down in the tray. All right, and then we're going to get our battery tray clamp. I like to do the back one first because it's a little bit harder. So what I basically did is I just found the hole and I spun it into place. I'm holding it up so it doesn't fall down, and I use my other hand to tighten up the top nut. What I'm going to do is just make this snug. I'm not going to tighten it. Just make it so it doesn't slide downward. Okay, so now that is into place. That's not going to fall out. So now it's going to give me the opportunity to come over here and get this one in the right location. The battery's a little bit taller, so I'm going to loosen up the nut, lower it down some more. So now that's in the locking place. I'm going to hold it, snug up the top nut so it doesn't drop down. Okay, so now I got my tray holder into place. I get my ratchet, turn it to lock, or to tighten. So I'm gonna do that side. I'll go over here and do this side. We'll kind of go back and forth and make it even. You see it's already getting tight. You want this nice and snug. It doesn't have to be super monkey tight. And you'll be able to feel it on the ratchet as it's getting more snug. If it's super easy to spin and it's loose, then you got to go a little tighter. All right, so that's good. I always put it underneath the handle, push the handle down. So now get your negative battery terminal. You can go ahead and put the guide locker on there. Get your positive connected first. Just push it all the way down. You got to make sure that this is flush to the battery. It's pushed down all the way. If it's sitting up here like this, you have it too tight and you loosen it up so it goes down all the way to the bottom. Kind of twist it a little bit and push down. This is a little bit different style battery. It has these access tab right here so you can fill the water and acid back up inside. It's going to be blocking this, so this isn't going to work. I have to go get a different wrench to tighten these up. But I can go ahead and set this down, get the negative, slide it down into place. Make sure you don't touch the positive to any other metals, okay? Because you will get a little shock. Some nice little sparks. Sometimes the tool gets stuck to wherever it touches. And you don't have to do these tight, guys. That's one thing a lot of people do. The most common mistake is people over tighten these, and then you're getting a bad connection over time, and you got to replace this. I see it all the time. It just has to be nice, just snug enough to where it doesn't move. It doesn't have to be super tight, because these things can get stretched out, and they will. So if you can't do this, you're good. That's all you're preventing it from. And that's it. That's how you replace a battery.